everybody, it's me, Laura, and today we're going to be creating my Keeko Cane in polymer clay. Okay, I really squeaked on that one. Anyways, this is going to be a part one of a few more that I'm going to be doing on this, this particular pattern. And this pattern is, of course, being taken from Zentangle World. So if you're wondering where I got this particular pattern from, if I cooked it up in my head, no. Zentangle World has this as a documented pattern in its own drawn version. But this drawn version I'm taking and now creating a Zentangle cane in polymer clay from it. So what I did here was this white was rolled out on a #1 setting on your Atlas machine and folded over. Okay, so it's like double the thickness. And then the black is on one side, and that is done on your Atlas machine on a #3 setting. So it's a lot thinner. Okay, and then of course I'm making a stack. That's what I'm making right here. And then I'm just going to put that together. And once I have that, and I've got the black on the one side, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the rest of it on a #3 setting with my black, so it's all going to be the same thickness in black all the way around this particular cane. So once I have this wrapped, I want to say that it turned out to be close to 3/4 of an inch wide and then about 1 1/4 inches tall. So it was a little bit more of a rectangular piece. Anyways, I decided to go ahead and make 4 of these so I can go ahead and show you a couple of little variations of just not the Keeko Cane, but of some other little things that can kind of surprisingly come off of that Keeko Cane. Okay, so here I've been reducing this particular cane, and some of you are probably thinking, well, why don't you go from a bullseye cane? And believe it or not, surprisingly, if you do a bullseye cane, it does look different than if you go with a stack. So I wanted to have a straight on line. So it really does resemble more of what the Keeko looks like. All right, so I've got about 4 inches here, and I really need 4 sections. So I marked this with my blade, and usually I just cut it in half and so on, but I wanted to show you guys what I really needed. So I wanted to start with 4 pieces. Now once I get these, they're not gonna all go the same direction, of course, but instead we'll make sure that they go in the opposite direction, going all the way around into a square. Okay, now that I've got these 4 pieces put together the way I want them, we're going to go ahead and reduce this. Okay, so now that we've reduced that, we've cut this in half, and then we're going to cut this thing in half one more time. So really what you're looking at is 4 sections, and that's what we're getting at here. We want to go ahead and create 4 sections of the little 4 squares together. Once you have the 4 sections, what you're going to do is you're going to try and create this pattern where every other set of lines is going to go against the next set of lines. So I'm going to cut this in half. Remember, this is 4 sections all together, and now I got to figure out, okay, which way would it work? Sometimes, like right here, I had to flip it over. This way, then, what you'll come up with then is a nice, lines going in, opposite directions all the way throughout this pattern. And that will give you your standard Keeko. Okay, so when I first started doing the Keeko pattern in polymer clay as a cane, sometimes you the first time around you're like, okay, I think I got this, and you do it, and then you're like, well, it didn't turn out quite as successfully as I wanted it to be. So what I'm showing you here is the first time out, I did not wrap it. And when I did not wrap it, what I mean is that I put the lines in it and everything. I had the standard, this is on a setting on a number 1 Atlas. It was folded over, and then I did my black on a number 3 setting, so it was much thinner. And then I made my stack of, 4 sections, with the black, white, black, white. And then once I did that, I was like, okay, so let's go ahead and make our Keeko. I did not wrap this in black on a number 3 all the way around then. The last one where I show you that Keeko and it's all wrapped in black, you have sections. Each section is distinguished between the other. Here, I'm taking it and I didn't quite do that. It gave it a little bit of a different and I would say interesting effect. I mean, it wasn't wrong, it was just different. Not a ton, but just enough to make it, well, this may or may not work, but it gave it enough of an interesting effect that it distinguished itself from the original Keeko pattern. Okay, so this is going to be my first pattern, or I should say my first alternative pattern to the Keeko Cane. And you know, when you get lines like this, it just says, oh, let's do more. What can I say? You just gotta do it. So anyway, I decided, okay, let's see what other patterns I could come up with. And so this was going to be my first one. I thought, okay, let's just go with the standard basics, and we're going to stretch this out. I'm going to go ahead and reduce, like I said, reduce this down, stretch it out, and I'm going to probably get 4 sections like I did originally in the beginning. Okay, so I've got these 2 sections that have already been cut, and we're going to cut it one more time because we want 4 sections all together. And that is pretty much what the pattern was. I had 2 pieces going in the same direction, and then the other 2 going the polar opposite. So this way then I thought, okay, this will be an interesting pattern to play with. And I had it where the lines were running down on one side, and then of course going so vertical and horizontal. And then I went ahead and I'm going to reduce this down yet again. And once I reduce this down, I'm going to go ahead and cut, what is it, 3? It'll be 4 sections altogether. It'll be 4 sections altogether. And then we'll create our newest alternative cane. Okay, so as you can tell here, the lines that are running vertically, I have them going in that one direction. I'm going to cut this thing in half. And once I do, there we go, cut it in half. And we're going to go ahead and take those vertical lines and be in the center area. And then the horizontals will be on the outside. And this will create that alternative cane. Okay, my second alternative cane was really a lot like the first one, except instead of having, the vertical lines in the center, we're going to have horizontal lines in the center. So you might all be noticing there's a lot of pushing and pulling here, and that's because sometimes these squares aren't always so square. So make sure whenever you're putting these, 4 sections together, that they match up with the other side, whether it's going the opposite way or whether the lines are going with the next piece to it. Just make sure that it's all about the same in diameter all the way around. Okay, so my third and final alternative pattern is actually going to be quite simple. And at the same time though too, it's just a little bit different from the first two. So what you're going to do is, again, we're going to go ahead and pull this out, a little bit of reduction, because we need to have 4 sections all cut. Okay, now that we've got all 4 sections cut, we're making sure that the lines are all going in the same direction. So you're like, really? That's so boring. Well, yes, but not. So what you're going to do is you're going to reduce this down, remember. So we're going to get another 3 sections out of this, which will equal up to 4. And once you have all 4 sections from this reduction, you're going to cut those, you're going to place them where each section of 4 is going to go in the opposite direction next to the one that it is placed against. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and place that next to it. And you can tell I kind of got dirt on the one end. It's just not quite, I need to cut that off. I will, not to worry. We'll have a clean set here. There we go, right in the middle. And then see what I did? I just flipped it around. So this way then the lines are going opposite directions of those 4 separate sections. And there you have your third and final alternative cane to the Keeko. Okay, so this is the result of creating my Keeko canes in polymer clay. Please use this for study and reference. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm always wondering what you're thinking. Otherwise, I am sending out my biggest hugs to each of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.